Ooh, I'm back. Hey everybody, I am back, which means it's time to turn up the lights on your career. And today we're going to talk about the fastest way to improve your career. And I'm going to give you my absolute favorite exercise that I do every single day to make sure that my career stays on track. And yours will go at twice the pace, I promise you. It is great to be back with you on Thursdays. I just spent the last couple of weeks with my job search boot camp recording some live sessions, which are now all ready for you to watch. Season 3 was great, filled with loads of fun and some really, really great characters. I love you all. I see some of them are on the show today. So I want to welcome you. It's really great to be here. Today is the first of a 6-week uninterrupted run of these live office hours. So I want to introduce myself, talk a little bit about some of the goodies I brought with me, then we'll get into the lesson. My name's Andy LaCivita. I'm the award-winning author of The Hiring Prophecies and Interview Intervention, and I've made it my mission in life to help people succeed in their careers. I love doing it. And one of my favorite ways to do that is by offering these free live office hours for you on Thursdays on my YouTube channel. I love it. I'm glad you are here. Welcome. I can see the chat rolling in my peripheral vision. Say hello, get in the chat, let me know who you are, where you're from. If you got any questions, put some question marks in front of your remark so that I know it's a question, because at the end of this session, I'm going to go back. We're going to spend a bunch of time going through that. But the live office hours is not the only way I help people with their careers. As some of you might know this, I'm guessing probably quite a few of you know this, but I have three webinars, actually soon to be 4, that are currently running. One is a resume webinar, one is a job interviewing webinar, one is a how to find your job webinar, so a job searching webinar. They're all about an hour each. And the 2017 version of those webinars were seen by more than 50,000 people. And I only share that with you because, that's a lot of people. They are very successful, and you would think that somebody that's having that good of luck with running those would just leave them run, but that is not me. I had to make them all better, which I did this past weekend. So as of a couple days ago, you have the 2018 amped up versions of all of those, and next week you're going to get a career changer one as well. So I'm really excited about that. But one of those in particular, I want to spend a moment and talk about one of those in particular, because the resume webinar, 3 Secrets to Get Your Resume Noticed, and the giveaway that I have in that webinar bears on this discussion today. So the souped up version of 3 Secrets to Get Your Resume Noticed has a brand new, never before given, the only place you can get it, new download. It's called my Resume Builder. I've got to show this thing to you because, like I said, it bears on today's discussion. It probably took me longer than it should have to come up with this nifty blue teal cover. But the thing I love about this Resume Builder is it's not just literally a resume builder. It's figuratively a resume builder, because it will help you as your life goes on to know what to work on and how to fill it in. So what I did was I created this booklet, and in the beginning of the booklet, I wrote all these instructions on how to get the most out of the giveaway. And not only how to get the most out of it, but what to do to get the most value, how it should be used, and all that good stuff. So there's some instructions. Then what I did was I gave you my resume template. This template, a lot of you've probably downloaded the Ultimate Professional Resume Template. It's one of my most popular downloads. I put a handy snapshot of what the resume layout should look like so you can quickly glance at it. This resume layout is highly successful, not only for the human eye, but also for the applicant tracking systems. The Mile Walk Academy students are having tremendous success in getting that into companies and getting great responses. But I didn't stop there. The really neat stuff about the booklet is then I went into each section in the template. I wrote, this is for the career profile, for example. I wrote some instructions and some background about the career profile, why it's important, how it should be laid out, and then at the bottom of each page of each section, I have the specific content and topics that you should write about in each section and how to put that together. But I know that just giving you the content, some people are still going to be tripped up about what specifics they should put in their paragraphs or their bullets and all that good stuff. So then I went on and I took the liberty of putting in the back of the booklet what I call my achievements journal. Basically, there's 14 key elements that I think are extremely important for you to know about all the projects that you've done. What the journal does initially, for purposes of populating your resume, is it's going to help stimulate your thinking and your recollection of all the important factors about the activities and accomplishments that you've performed in your past. Now, I know some of those are going to be in your distant past, but it's better to have this stimulator than not to have this stimulator. The other thing that's important about these 14 points are, they're the most important points that employers care about, because this information is what's going to give your resume power. It is what's going to give your resume power. And not only is it great for the resume, you get a couple of additional bonuses there, because the information itself is also the same subject matter you should use when you're discussing your job interview responses. So you're going to get a double whammy there, and you actually get a triple header on that one, because you can also use the back portion of the document as a diary or a journal as you go through your career. So today, what are the important aspects of your projects while they're fresh in your mind, as well as all the stuff you're going to do in the future? And one other bonus that you get with that section is it's wonderful when you are going up for career promotions. It's a wonderful way to remind your employer, but there's a ton of value. I could probably sell this thing for a couple $100, but it was really something that I was motivated to do. I wanted to really amp up some of the giveaways that I'm putting in these webinars and on the Mile Walk Academy site. So, like I said, this bears on today's discussion, because today's discussion is going to be how do we focus you in on filling this sucker in with the right kind of activities, with the right kind of high value impact stuff. So let's get into that. Let's get into this discussion today about elevating your career. First thing is, we know what the problem is. The problem is you're not moving through your career fast enough, or you're not getting the promotion, or maybe you're meandering, or maybe you're trying a job interview and you can't get that new employer to raise that level, go from that managerial to directorial level. You're looking for somebody to take a chance on you. Well, you need to know how to articulate the value that you've created. Now, high performers, the highest of high performers, they expect to be successful. They plan for success. They think about it every single day. And I don't mean in an unhealthy way. I'm talking about in a thoughtful, very, very well dialed in way about what high performance is. And to focus you all in on this, there's really two things you need to understand, regardless of what your job is. Companies exist for two reasons: to serve customers and to generate revenue and profits, if you will. But basically, when you strip it all down and all the fancy stuff, all the things that they do, that's why they exist: to serve customers or deliver products and services to customers, and to generate money so that they can continue to do that and grow and create a great environment for people to work and all that good stuff. But it all starts with their customers and their revenue. Once you understand how what you do contributes to that, you're gonna be more thoughtful about the activities or the extracurricular activities or projects that you start to work on, so that you can contribute in a more valuable manner to that. So once you're dialed in, it'll be a lot easier. Now, what I'd like to spend most of today on is, what's that exercise that I go through, and what can you do analogously to actually reach that level of performance that puts you on the right path to work on the right stuff and do the right things that raises your game, that ultimately helps you go through your career faster. So, and I think Julia asked me about how I spend my morning or whatever. I'm actually I'll work that right into the talk. And because this gives me a chance to share a little piece of me with you. You certainly don't need to do it this way, but this is the exercise that I'd like you to do. I do it on a daily basis for about 15 minutes. The purpose of the exercise is to generate ideas, not solutions, just ideas. So to give us a running start and answer Julia's question here, I get up in the morning, I hug my wife, who I absolutely adore. She's my human treasure. I knock the dogs around a little bit. They're my two little treasures. Off to the gym I go, or out for a run I go. I shower up, I clean up, I get home, I grab a little breakfast, and then before my day starts, before I get into everything that I've already planned for my day, which I've done the night before I get into that, and it's still pretty early now, it's 8 o'clock or 8:30. What I do is I turn on my little Apple Watch. I give myself 15 minutes. I get away from the computer. I don't want any distractions. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to hear any bells going off. The phone's off. Everything is turned off. And then what I do is I ask myself 5 questions. I'm going to tell you what I ask myself, and I'm going to tell you your analogous questions as well. And I come up with ideas. The first question that I ask myself is really, it's the center of my universe, which is my customers. So what can I do to better serve my customers? It's the first question I ask. I like to ask the questions in this order in case I run out of time, because I like to go from what I think are the most important things. And the customers, to me, if you serve your customers the right way, you're in Fat City. So how can I make their lives easier? What value can I give them? How can I make the delivery of my training programs, my coaching programs, all that good stuff easier for them to get more value out of it? Now, your customers, my customers are some of you, the Mile Walk Academy paying students that are enrolled in my monthly coaching program or my one-on-one coaching program or my boot camp. If you're a boot camper, give me a shout out in the chat, or some of the other courses that I have, like the interview intervention course and so on. Paying students of the Mile Walk Academy. Those are my customers. Your customers could be your company's customers. You might actually serve the customer, support them, call center rep, support engineer, whatever it might be. Or your customers could be internal units. Your customers could be other teams within your organization. You could be a project manager who is implementing a technology system for one of the business units. They could be your customers. Whoever your customers are, they could be internal customers. You could be working in the alliances area where you've got partnerships and they're your customers. So whoever your customers are, first question to ask yourself is, what can I do to better serve my customers? And jot your ideas down. Second question, this is where you guys come in. What can I do to add more value to my community? I love this one. Why? Where do you think live office hours came from? Where do you think stuff like the resume builder comes from? It's me sitting in that sunroom behind me for 15 minutes every morning thinking about how can I add more value to my community? Let's put this in perspective. And I know you guys, I know there's a lot of competition for your attention. I love that you're here with me. I know that there are a lot of trainers that speak about the topics that I train on, but you're here with me, and I love having you. Now, I could, one morning, each quarter, get in this office and bang out 12 videos that are 5 to 10 minutes and record them, and I could be done by 10 o'clock. And I can send them out to you once a week, each week, and give you value, which is nice. There's nothing wrong with that. Give you value, write you a nice little email letter, give you a little lesson, and never have to talk to a camera or record anything for 3 months. Now, in my opinion, that's not good enough. You deserve more. But I want to give you more. I want to have a deeper connection with you. A lot of trainers get into training business because they want to create free time for themselves. I think that's misguided. I got in training because I want to engage with you and help you. I can only get to know you through these kind of sessions. And even though we're not exactly speaking to each other, I can see you in the chat. I get your comments in these sessions. Some of you are putting them. You respond to my email letters that I send you, or email messages that I send you each week. And I love to get to know you. But I'm also getting something out of this. I'm becoming a better trainer because you are coaching me with the type of information you need to know, some of the current events and shifts employers are making, some demographical issues you're having, whatever it is. I can't get that by spending a couple hours recording 12 videos and sending them out to you. So that's not good enough. So I want to amp that up. What about your community? Who's in your community? Well, you got your team. You got your company, you got your market, you got your networking groups, you got all kinds of stuff that is an extension of you. So trust me when I tell you, they need you. You can add value and contribute your knowledge and your energy to them, and you in turn will get something. even if it's just feeling good that you're making everybody's life better. But trust me when I tell you, something's going to come back. Education, good relationships, friendships, whatever it might be. But community is a big honking deal. And this also helps you grow your network, right? It helps you grow your network, which is a big thing. All right, third thing that I do is I think about how do I better market my services. So I'm a business. I can't survive if I'm not marketing myself effectively. There are many ways that I do that. For me, it might be how do I communicate better with you through email? How do I offer you more opportunity to get to know me, like a live office hour, something like that? But generating revenue is important, and you might not be on the sales team or the marketing team, but there are a lot of ways that you can go about helping your company increase its brand awareness, generating leads, showing it has knowledgeable resources on a subject. Maybe you can write for the corporate blog. Maybe you can create a white paper that's distributed through social media that's ultimately grabbed by potential customers, other businesses, other maybe consumers, depending on the type of company you work for. Could you speak at events? Those kind of things. If trust me when I tell you, think about how what you do contributes to this. And the next best thing to marketing and helping your company market its service is saving money through optimization. So I think about my internal systems. How can I better improve my internal systems? So optimization. So there's manual systems that my team and I use. There are systems that we use for the search side of the business to business services we offer from MileWalk. And then there's the MileWalk Academy. So communicating with you, making sure that we're getting to know you, we're getting you information. So we have an email marketing system and a CRM system. We also have internal systems, the way we communicate with each other, whether it's through like Slack or something like that, or other mediums that we use, our Google calendars and all that good stuff. There's also another one that's really important, and this is maybe a nice little gratuitous plug here for something I'm going to be giving you for free, but in a couple of weeks, and I've mentioned this in the past, a couple of weeks ago, maybe the week before that, in a couple of weeks, if we stay on schedule, I'm going to be releasing a new interview intervention hardbound book. I've bought several thousand copies already. I'm giving it to you anywhere in the world for free. You pay a couple dollars, shipping and handling for the fulfillment company to pick it, pack it, and ship it to you. Wherever you are, same price, same few dollars. Well, I've got to get your information that you're going to fill in on the form that says, Andy, I want the book for free. I'll pay a couple of bucks. Well, you send it to me. Now I can manually move it over there. I can do it in an automated fashion. There's complexity. So I'm talking about things like that. Maybe you could help improve your own processes, whatever you do on a day-to-day basis, your own stuff, your team's stuff, your company's stuff, your company's systems, your company's integrations with its customers, partners, or other alliances that it has. Is there anything that you can do? Every single one of you can improve the way you do your business and the way you run your day. And I understand that many of you have responsibilities that are dictated, by your companies or your bosses, but you have a lot of control. You really do. You have more control than you think. And you have outside time if you're willing to put the time in. All right, last thing, this might be this might be my favorite one. Just say no. Stop it. Stop. What should I stop doing? Now, I'm not talking about checking Facebook for 30 minutes in the middle of your morning. Of course, unless you're reading one of my posts or watching one of my videos or podcasts. But I'm talking about what is it that you do that's not adding value? What is it? Ask yourself, of all the things that I work on, this is especially important for you managerial resources, what is it that I work on that only I can do? Keep those on your list. But are there other things that somebody else could do? One of the people on your team? Could you get a less expensive resource to do that? Could you outsource that? Could you free up time basically to work on these other 4 things? So you're trying to get rid of the things that you don't need. So if you ask yourself those 5 questions, there's a lot of benefit to this. So why would I do it? Now I realize that not every single person is in a position to impact all 5 of those questions, certainly 3 of them at least. But just think about the ones that are most appropriate for you. But let's think about what's happening here. First thing is you're actually getting time to slow down, which we all need. And if you could just spend a couple minutes a day slowing down, you will be amazed at how much more efficient your life will become. That's the first thing. There's a benefit. If you do it the way I do it, 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that's 65 hours of nothing but thinking over the course of the year. What could you do with an extra week and a half's worth of work time if you just thought? But now you're also stimulating your brain about the highest level of activities. So even if you don't implement all of these, you're still thinking in the right direction. And I have news for you. I guarantee you that if you spend this kind of time and you think about this stuff, remember, you don't have to do all this by yourself because you have to create time to actually implement these projects, programs. It could be a 5-minute fix. It could be stop doing it. It could be an hour-long project or a week-long project. But you can bring it to your boss, you can bring it to your company, you can bring it to your team members. Maybe you can spend a little extra time at night or on the weekend or at lunch or early morning or whatever to do this. But the other thing that this will do for you, do this for a week, and then I want you to email me. I'll tell you what, the biggest charge I get out of doing this is when I get done with those 15 minutes, somebody literally needs to restrain me from my excitement because all I keep thinking about is, oh my goodness, I can't wait to do that and give that to them. And I want to see the look on their face because I'm excited because there are great things that I'm creating. There will be great things that you will be creating and it will constantly be kicking your mind into a different gear. You'll have a different attitude. You'll have a different pull towards what you do. And even if you have some activities that you got to do throughout the day that are totally mundane, this different line of thinking is going to help you and keep your attitude up. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. I love to do it first thing in the morning because number one, I'm really fresh and I haven't gotten into my projects that are going to really occupy my brain and my thinking. And the other thing is that I won't get interrupted. I'm doing it before I get any distractions, but it also gets me in the right mindset to go through the day. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Andy, I don't work out of my house. I can't, when I get up in the morning, I got 8 kids and I got to make them breakfast. I got to get them to school. I totally get it. So, but just think, do you sit down for a cup of coffee at some point throughout the day, maybe the morning? Could you do 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever? Do you have a commute to work? Do you take a train? Are you on a plane? Things like that. What about, you take a shower? Can you do 5 minutes in the shower just thinking about these kind of things? 1 question a day each week in the shower is better than nothing. Or take 20 minutes on a Friday morning or a Sunday morning or Saturday afternoon. Put a cocktail in your hand. It doesn't make no difference to me, but just allocate some time to this level of thinking. And I guarantee it will transform the way you go about your job and your career. One more item that I want to hit before we jump off this topic and that I go to the chat. And this is really important. And this is going to be kind of sobering. It's really, when we hang up here, when we're done with the cast, I want you to think about this. And I'm going to wrap it in a story for you. I do one-on-one coaching of different varieties. And I do high-performance coaching. So individuals these are not job seekers. These are individuals like C-level folks, get a lot of salespeople, marketing people, senior level folks, huge type A personalities, very ambitious people, very ambitious, and they have high goals and they're not getting there fast enough. They enlist my help to elevate their performance through different ways of thinking, kind of like what we're talking about right now. On the first session, we sit down and I ask them, what are your goals? And inevitably, they all give me these great lofty goals, which I love. That's awesome because I want you to go big. Go big. Don't go down here. Don't aim low and hit. Most people's problem isn't that they aim too high and miss. It's that they aim too low and they actually hit those goals. So I want you to go big. They want to go big. Awesome. Then I say to them, open up your calendar and I want to see what it looks like today. today. So they open up a lot of them just take out their iPhone or their Droid or whatever, and they show me. I look at it and I see, okay, there I am. Here we are now. That's good, right? You're getting some help. Let me actually see the week. What's the week look like? Then they open up the calendar. There's the week, and I look at them. 100% of my clients can go through this process, and I say, okay, that what a typical week looks like. Oh yeah, I'm busy. I'm moving. I'm shaking. Lots of activities. Not really time for a lot of other things. And I say to them, where on this calendar are the activities that you need to do in order to reach those goals you shared with me? Because they're not here. They're not here. Your activities on your calendar, if this is what your calendar looks like, your activities are not in alignment with your aspirations, and you will never get there. You will never get there if this is what your week in and week out calendar looks like. You either need to expand time, you need to create space, or you need to add time to what you're willing to do. But if the activities that you need to do aren't there, you'll never get there. A couple years ago, when I wanted to become a trainer, well, I had to have time on my calendar that says talk to a camera. Get good at this, or figure out how to use the camera. Basically, figure out how to use the lights. Figure out how to put a blog post together, or write a book, or what. I mean, you have to write those activities down in your calendar. What's the cliche? What gets scheduled gets done. But I challenge all of you to look at your calendar. What does that look like? Does that match up with where you want to go? So try that out. Let me know how that goes. All right. If you are loving this, give me the thumbs up. Let's recap the 5 questions really quickly that I want you to ask yourself. Okay? And if you remember, what can you do to add more value to your customers or better serve your customers? What can you do to add more value to your community? What can you do to help your company market its product or services better? What can you do to optimize your internal systems, your processes, whatever they might be, internal or even integration to the outside? And what should you stop doing? What should you stop doing? This one is very powerful because this is the one that gets rid of the non-value added busy work. And one question you can ask yourself as just a parting little gift here is, if you're doing something right now, if when you started that activity, you would have known, if you would have known then what you know now, would you have even started that activity? And if the answer is no, then you need to stop it. Then you need to stop. Don't just keep doing stuff because you've always done it or because somebody told you need to do it. So anyway, so hope you love that. So stop for a minute and give me a thumbs up and share this, because we are now going to the chat. I cannot wait to see who's here. You guys are all shuffling in. Love it. Don't know who came in, but I'm zipping back up here. And great to see you guys. Jerson, Kathy, Lisa's here. Dinesh, Catherine, Julia, love having you as always. Chris, Viola, Torre is here. Tate, Wilma, some boot campers here. John, SK, Sylvia, boot campers. I love it. You would think the boot campers are sick of me. Man, we went through 5 sessions, and then we had a monthly coaching call last night, and they're still here with me today. I love it. Okay, let me go. I think the first question I had was at 111. And by the way, I want to take a little sip of this tea, and this is a gratuitous advertisement for my friend Jim Vasilopoulos with the Leadership Podcast, We Study Leaders. If you have not checked it out, I highly recommend it. And Jim, if you're out there watching, that cost you $8,000. Okay, just kidding. All right, let's see. What do we got? All right, I know Julia had a question because I mentally marked it. And where is that? Wait, Julia, where did those questions go about my morning? All right, hang on. Good to hear. Dinesh has a question. Andy. Hope these are tips to move to top management. They are. Step away. Hi. Okay, I got Jules here. And first question, okay. First question, tangential question to the subject material. As someone who works remotely, what does your typical day look like for you? Okay, this is an awesome question, and I want to talk to you guys about management of your day. Whatever you do, and I recognize and totally concede that some of you have more control of your daily activities than others. Okay, so I get that. But what I try to do, for all of you that have real freedom, and even those that don't, but you have some freedom, I think before I plan my day, I plan it the night before, and I think about energy. I think about what gives me energy, what requires my energy. I even have a notepad. Actually, I haven't. Let me show you this. Oh. I have a notepad, actually. This notepad even has a section here that's got an E, N, or D. It either gives me energy, it's neutral, or it's draining. So the night before, I plan my next day. So I know what my calendar looks like. Now, because I have incredible control over my calendar, what I do is all the huge brain draining work goes in the morning. So after I get done I get up, I told you about, I get up, I hug my wife, I knock the dogs around, I work out. It's like brushing my teeth, man. Boom, 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 boom. There's no negotiation. That happens. Then I eat, then I go through my excellence planning. I call it excellence planning, those 5 questions. Then I get into my day, and it's only 8:30 at this point. So I start work around 8:30. Sometimes I start work at 8 o'clock, or sometimes it's 9 o'clock. Then I usually am working on something that requires a lot of energy, but does get me excited, like thinking through how to develop a new webinar, which one's coming out next week. How do I manage my book campaign? All the things that I generally have to work on solo. And I generally try to do those in the morning. And it requires a lot of energy. It's a lot of thoughtful thinking. But the high energy projects that typically are somewhat draining, or that give you energy, but that require a lot of brain power, go in the morning. Then I break for lunch. In the afternoon, I plan it so if I'm doing coaching calls or coaching meetings or other things of that nature where I am engaging with people, which gives me great energy. So as the day goes on, you get more tired, but I get so excited when I get to help somebody. After this session right here, I go right into a one-on-one coaching call. So now live office hours moves around, and I only do that because I have people on all inhabited continents that are in my programs or that follow me. So I try to move the times around a little bit to make it a little more palatable. But generally, I try to do, my engagement work in the afternoon. Then what I'll do is, as the day gets later, as we get closer to dinner time or knocking off the end of the work day, then what I do is I go into planning mode. What does tomorrow look like? And what does the rest of the week look like? So what did I do today? What did I finish? And the day is optimized so that I ask myself questions about consequences. So I don't plan my day based on what needs to be done. I almost plan my day based on what happens if I don't do that. So I need to get this done in order for a result to happen. That's a consequence. If I don't do this and it doesn't matter as much, then that just drops down, in priority, and I don't work on things that on the lower level of the spectrum that are until the higher end stuff is done. So I think in terms of, by the way, I'm going to do a whole session on really how to plan your day, because I'm trying to give you guys more performance related stuff, not just so much on job searching, but that's something that I will cover in detail. But think in terms of energy management. Don't think in terms of time management. You would be amazed at how awesome life will be if you focus on the right stuff and you let some of the other stuff slip. And the other thing too is I have other things like resume reviews and other things like that do require a lot of my attention. I try to do all that stuff in the morning. So that's how I think about my day. I mentioned how I start my day, and now Tore is how do you get over the disappointment of hearing thank you but no thank you. So Tore, honestly, I only think in terms of I have worked hard, and I would, this is what I would recommend for you, is try to get yourself to a point. This takes a lot of practice. It's an ongoing, ever-going thing, where I think about a few things. Every day when I wake up, actually, the other thing that I do before I do my planning is there's a checklist of things that I go through every day. One of the items on that checklist is, what could possibly go wrong today, and how will my highest self handle it? So for you, it might be getting a rejection from an employer because you're in the middle of a job search. So how would your highest self handle it? Well, your highest self, and the easiest way to get through something like that is, number one, control only what you can control. So if you have a steady stream of contacts going out, meaning you're sending your resume to the right place, you're doing, and I know you're in one of my programs, you're doing the right kind of stuff, you're targeting companies, you're continually reaching out, you're networking, you're doing all those things, that should make you feel good. It'll give you momentum. So when something comes through and they say no thanks, you're a little more sturdy because you're controlling what you can control. You can't control how they respond. Now, what I also think you need to do is adopt a learning mindset. I'd like to think, and I'm not being funny here, but I've never had a failure in my life as long as I look at it as I was learning something and I know I'm being prepared for the right thing, even if it stinks at the time. So, I adopt that learning mindset. So what I do is I make sure that I'm ready for those kind of things, and that I know that if it doesn't work out, my heart's not going to be attached to that outcome no matter how much I want to work there. And I know I'm learning something. And then I would try to get information from them as to why you were not the one that they chose. But that's what I do. It takes practice, and I know it gets very difficult because I know job searching is very hard. I know it's very hard. Not only is job searching really hard, but you don't do it very often, and it's not what you do every day of your life. So that's how I try to think through all of my potential failures. And it is disappointing, but I also to put a little cherry on top of this, I also have faith that everything in this world works out the way it's supposed to, and you are where you're supposed to be, and you will land on your feet with cushy slippers at a great company who loves you, that you love. So that's what I would say to that. Hey, Ingrid, Silvio, why does not YouTube allow links on a channel? I'm wondering if you mean links in the chat. I don't know. It doesn't, though. It does not want you or people clicking off the chat. We have found that out. Hey, Kyle, another boot camper. Love my boot campers. And Silvio is right. Tilray, it takes practice. All right. Not practice to be disappointed, young lady. Practice to not overcome it. Look at these. I love these boot campers cheering each other on. Jules getting in the game. Okay. Hey, Panos from the Netherlands. Great. Daniel Gomez. Good to see you. All right. Tori's got another one. All right. Do you change your title on previous jobs on your resume to match the job you are applying for because the skills are transferable? Hope I am making sense. I do know what you're asking, and what I would do is I try to keep my title what my title is or was. If your title is a really goofy internal title that no one outside of your organization is going to understand, and you want to genericize it to give the outside world a better understanding of what you do, you can do that. I think it's okay to take a little literary license here, or what you could do is you could put like the functional, the business title that is understood by the outside world, and in parentheses, you can put internal title, was that. Then what I would do is, and by the way, I will put my link to JobScan. I have a JobScan, Andrew LaCivita JobScan page out there. I would then take my resume and I would put it in JobScan to make sure that you are matching up, and it's really a nifty tool. But that's what I would do. I would get the get the resume template, and then or the content builder, put your resume together in the format that I recommend, and then what I would do is run it through JobScan and try to optimize that. And JobScan's got some very cool features that you can use for free for quite a long time. So, all right, Patrick in Boise, my resume follows your template. Great. When faced with filling out an ATS, how much additional information, experience, and accomplishments should be added to each position description over brief resume? So, Patrick, difficult to answer because I don't know how, it is not, folks, and actually, Patrick, that's a great question. It is not the quantity of information you have on your resume. It is the quality of the information on your resume that will match up with what the employer is looking for. So, again, just to reiterate what I did with Tailoring, you got it in my format. That's awesome. Then I would run it through JobScan. I'm going to give you a specific link here when we're done in the description of this. I think I need to add it. I forgot to add it in this description, and then run it through. And then what JobScan will do is it actually, if you can take the link from the applicant tracking system, like literally like from the career portal, and you can put it into JobScan, and JobScan will also give you additional ATS tips of what to put or not put in your resume. For example, we know that this system that such and such a company uses, does not like tables. Get rid of the tables, and so on. So it's very powerful stuff. Okay, Kara is telling me that I think I skipped some questions. Hang on, let me look back. I'm going to go through this from the top. From 1 o'clock, I think I got Jules. No, I think I am in order here. Kara, I'm on 131 at Patrick, and I'm now going to Patrick again, 131. All right, I'm assuming... Patrick is asking, I'm assuming more than the resume, less than a novel. Should I keep all the information provided, or only provided pertinent to the job announcement? No, you can repeat it. It's okay. I think what you're asking, so some of these applicant tracking systems are, you attach your resume. Then what you do is then you have to take portions of your resume out, and you have to add in the boxes. Some of these applicant tracking systems, folks, they are not bright systems. Okay, so I'm so sorry you got to put them in there, but it's a necessary evil. But it's okay to repeat, cut copy. It's totally okay. I'm telling you, that JobScan thing though, I've been working with it more and more now. That gives you pretty good insight into what to do and not to do. Oh my, Linda LaCivita and the Hilltop 3rd grade elementary school is in the house. And for everybody that does not know it, that's my wife. And I hope she heard me say, or she's still on, that she is my human treasure. I love you, honey. And I love the kids. I hope, get all the 3rd graders to stand on their desk. We start these kids early because we know job searching is tough. Say hi to Chloe and the whole crew. Okay. Greet Pakistan, great. Heather Smith, wonderful to see you from sunny San Diego. Troy Young, San Antonio, hope you're doing well. Advice, good evening from Cape Town, South Africa. I love it. Miriam, talking about an intern's resume, how can we add experience, or should I just skip the part? I'm not sure, Miriam Tariq, what you mean. Talking about an intern's resume, how can we add experience? Meaning, I'm assuming you mean that the intern doesn't have, or you are an intern and you don't have a lot of experience. That's okay. Put the experience that you do have. Get some volunteer experience. Put school projects in there. Whatever you have, you are who you are. Put it in there. That's what I would do, without a doubt. Okay, Tailoring, I feel like I literally need to change my resume for each job application. Is that crazy, or is that the way to do it? It is a little bit crazy. Folks, okay, I get this question a lot from the folks in my boot camp and in my resume workshop. you should have like one home base resume. Unless you are interviewing for all different kinds of things that are not related to what you do, then you might have to start changing it, but I would question why you're doing that. If you are an accountant or a project manager or an engineer or a retail salesperson or a whatever, if you are interviewing for companies that are in your, basically in your field, then you should have to make minor tweaks to your resume. If you use the job scan tool, that will help, but you should not be making wholesale changes. And if you are making wholesale changes, you also have to question whether the applicant tracking system is the right way. I mean, I did a live office hours not too long ago called Why Your Job Search is Taking So Long. I would make sure you're staying in alignment with those percentages that I offered. Okay, do me a favor. Okay, 2:15. We are going to go for 15 more minutes. I'm going to take as many of these questions as I can. Just so you know, if I don't get to your question, jump over to the comment section, because what I do when this live office hours is over is YouTube automatically records it for us. I leave it on my site. You can go there and move your question over to the comment section. And if you're loving this, give me a share, give me a thumbs up. YouTube loves the thumbs up. It really does. It really does. Okay, and I love the thumbs up. Okay, all right. Carla, hi, I'm new, but have reviewed many of your resources. Carla, you are welcome. Thank you for being part of my community. Thanks for taking time out. I realize not everybody can attend these live. I know it's hard, and I know a lot of these we've been doing them during the daytime. But I love having you. There's 100 people on this one. I love it. Okay, Kellen Derry. All right, that's a new name. I don't know that I've seen you before. Hello. Oh, from Ukraine. Wonderful. At which stage of the interview process would you come with a 30, 60, 90-day plan in hand? Okay, so that's an awesome question. Kellen, I'm guessing you are a salesperson, probably. I'm just guessing because that is one of the most commonly requested pieces of information that employers ask salespeople for. And when we're reviewing salespeople, or our clients are reviewing salespeople, it's a very common request. What I would do is, the moment you have enough information about the employer and what you would do in the 30, 60, 90 days, I would start scratching that and putting it together. As you get in later in the process, they might formally request one, or it's great for you to have one. And here's how I recommend bringing it up if they have not brought it up. So if they say, hey, Kellen, come to the next interview and bring us a 30, 60, 90-day plan, we'd love to see your thoughts. Great, you just bring it. Do it and bring it. If they don't, as you get a little later on, you feel like, hey, I've got enough insight to kind of sketch down what I would do. By the way, you should, because regardless of what you sell, product or service, 30, 60, 90-day plans, they pretty much look similar. Okay, they pretty much look similar. They have a common theme to them and a common suite of activities. Okay, so what I love to do, this is the best situation you could be in. Okay, if they don't, the best situation is they don't ask you for it. You went and did it. You've completed it. You bring it to the interview, and somewhere along the way, you get to say to them, just as part of my preparation for determining whether I would enjoy this job and be successful at it, I developed a 30, 60, 90-day plan for myself. I realize I have limited information, but I just wanted to think through how I would go about doing this. And it really helped me understand that I will be successful at it. And if you'd be interested, I'd be happy to show it to you. But I wanted to share that with you because I feel even better about this position and my match for it, because I know my strengths match blah, blah, blah. That's the best, because now you're being proactive. And you brought it up in a not so, hey, here's my 90-day plan. Let me show it to you. You don't want to make it abrupt. You want to talk about how you did this for your own benefit, and you're happy to share it, as opposed to, hey, let me show you. It's really a subtle difference, but it's a style thing, and it goes over well. Okay, Silvio, You have to have a master resume with all the stuff you've done. I would definitely. Patrick and Boise, with an ATS, how do I handle questions like name, number of manager who has since retired or died? Okay, so I know you get these kind of questions. What I would do is, usually those are free form fields, and I would just put manager has passed away, or if the manager's retired, that doesn't mean anything. Give them the number if you have it. It doesn't matter if the person's retired. They can still serve as a reference. Okay. All right. Somebody's saying advice. You guys have to go through his videos. Thank you, buddy. I totally appreciate that. That is the only way. Andy has broken it up, everything on how to get your dream job. I sure have. If you, people always ask me about the difference between actually, I want to make this comment. I want to make this comment here because I get this one a lot. I'm here with you. We're spending an hour, right? We're 50 minutes in. I love this stuff. I love engaging with you, and I am constantly trying to give you more and more and more of what I think you need to be successful. I don't care what other trainers are giving you. I want to give you what I think. I rarely look at other trainers and what they do. And I mean that, not to be funny, just I want to give you what I think you need based on my experience. And I don't be distracted by what other people are doing. And the rule of thumb is, I offer up a lot of free content. That free content is all around what to do. So here's the list. Here's what you should focus on. But all my paid programs are about how to do it. So not only do you get all the what's to do, but you get all the tools, all the techniques. I take you down to the next level and the next level, and I give you all the tools. It's all packaged in a framework and an end-to-end system. And in addition to all of that, you also get access to me on a much deeper level. I answer your questions. I'm there at your fingertips. All that good stuff. And those are in the paid programs. So there is a distinction, and there's a lot more in those paid programs. I also recognize not everybody wants to take the training. Not everybody can afford the training. Totally okay. Totally okay. And so I just love, my mission is to help you get to where you want to go but I need to respect my business and my ability to support my ability to go on. Otherwise, I'll never be able to give you all the free stuff if some folks aren't out there engaging with me on a deeper level and paying for that. So I hope that clears it up. I get that question a lot. It's one of the frequently asked questions I think I put in kind of this latest round of the boot camp. People are asking, and it's all packaged, it's organized, it's there, it's together. There's a community that's created of Mile Walk Academy students that get connected with each other on other platforms. So there's a lot to it, but I do want to thank you for that shout out, and I do try to do my best. And I'm noticing that I'm saying this right as I'm looking at my mom, Amelia. That's another woman the main woman in my life, and I'm guessing that just made her proud. Okay, love you, Mom. All right, Ruisha's here. She's a Mile Walk Academy-er. Lucas, thanks for all your advice. I was hired in AB InBev. Awesome. My first day is next Monday. How to prepare for my first day. What should I do to communicate you made a good decision? So, first thing, that's a fantastic question, by the way. Everybody who's starting in a new job, the best thing you can do before you get to your job is to call your boss or email your boss or email the recruiter or whoever, the HR person, and say, is there anything that I can start reviewing before I get there? Is there anything that I can do before I get there so that I can hit the ground running? And then if there's nothing, there rarely will be nothing because companies are usually eager to get you to start. But what I would do is I would research the heck out of the company. I would try to learn the people on your team. I would try to see who that team is going to be integrating with and what they're all about and all the homework that you can do. And I would make sure, you're bringing all the driver's license or your passport or all your other stuff so you can fill it all out. But that's what I would do. If you're a salesperson and you weren't asked about a 30, 60, 90-day plan, I would have one, that kind of stuff. But that one thing. What can you send me so that I'm getting more up to speed as I get there on my first day? That will get you going on the straight and narrow. I mean, so that'd be really good. All right. Oh, and it's not a 30-minute job. All right, Carla, we are relocating, hence the new job search. Okay. Should I include reference to relocating in my cover letter or where any example of verbiage? Great question. So, Carla, I'm not sure. You said we are relocating. I'm going to take a guess that you're married or you have a partner, and I don't know if you're moving because sometimes you move because you guys want a new city, and I want to go from the freezing cold Chicago to Florida, or sometimes somebody got transferred. One of the two of you got transferred. Assuming you're not the one that got transferred because you're asking about how to target a job in the new city. Regardless, whether your husband or your partner got transferred and he or she has a job, I would, in my cover letter, if you know you are relocating, meaning there's no ifs, ands, or buts, the house or the apartment's already picked out, we're going. You're just trying to get a jump start on getting that job. I always recommend that you put your current address on your resume, and then you put in your cover letter, I'm reaching out to you because I'm interested in this position at your company. I wanted to let you know I'm in the process of moving, and I will be I'll be in the city, or I'll be in your location by whatever the date is. If you know, if you don't know, then you want to say I and my family have made the decision to move. So I'm basically you want to communicate to them that they do not, if they do not want to, have to expend the money to pay for you to relocate. And the reason that that's important is because if you come with an additional $10,000 or $20,000 price tag, that's a huge deterrent, especially if that organization can get somebody in that location. If you're moving to a bigger town with lots of people that do what you do. So you just want to say, we've already made the decision. We are moving, and we move on such a date. I will be available after that. Just any way that you can communicate it, and you can communicate that in the email or the cover letter. It does not need to be fancy. It just needs to be stated. So I hope that helps. You can also change your LinkedIn profile. If you remember, LinkedIn profiles, while I want them to be consistent with your resume, if you're moving, you're moving. Change your town. And because the recruiters in that town are combing people in that geographical location. And if it comes up, you can say to them, hey, if somebody reaches out to you and says, hey, Carla, loved your background. You got time for a 30-minute phone call next week. You can mention on the phone that you have made the decision to move, and you will be moving as of. And that's okay. All right. Sylvia, there's a good source for writing a resume with no measured results if you come to academia posts. Okay. Congrats. And Daniel. When tailoring a resume to a specific position, do you put the title for the position on the header of the resume, or do you put your title? So first thing, Daniel, candidly, I do not recommend that you put, when you say the header of the resume, I do not recommend that you put your title at the top center of the resume. I don't. And the reason that I don't recommend that is because the first thing people see is some title of yours in a big header, and it pigeonholes their thinking of who you are or what you want. So don't do that. Now, I don't know what your job is. Oh, wait, you're a systems engineer. Great. Applying for an NPI engineer job. Which one should I put? Okay, what I would put is I'm not sure. Wait, did you say? I don't know if you're using my resume template, but if you're using my resume template, well, go watch 3 Secrets to Get Your Resume Noticed. Get this resume builder. First thing in the career profile that you should put in the paragraph, not in a big font in the center, is who you are. You are I'm just playing here. You are a senior systems engineer, or you are a senior systems and NPI engineer. You can put that in, with X years of experience, who does this, that, and the other thing, or if you have other languages or other things, a senior systems engineer with X years of experience developing systems such as your languages, whatever. But that's the way I would recommend doing that. The applicant tracking system will pick that up. It will pick that up. I don't want the human eye to be disturbed by it. I can't stand when I get resumes when people tell me they're a, or when they put multiple titles across, VP of this, CXO of that, this, that, and that. It's just confusing. Just tell me in general, you are a senior level, C-level resource of what, and then I'll find it throughout. But it doesn't, you're taking up space. It doesn't need to. It doesn't need to. Okay, zipping down. All right, thank you for that. Those good kudos. Nagaraju, I hope I said that correctly. Glad you are here. I am changing careers, and should I still include the leadership achievements? Yes, it is taking a significant part of the resume. Well, that's okay. What do you change into? And by the way, good news for you and everybody else, I have a brand new webinar coming out. It's about an hour, called 12 Steps to 12 Steps to Career Change Success. So it's a proven formula to launch your second career. Check that out. And I'm talking, it's coming out in days. So keep your eye out for that. That's really going to help you. Okay. All right, folks, listen, we are down on the hour, and I have to get to a coaching session. So I hope you enjoyed this. Do me a favor, share this. Give me the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let people know about these. I love helping people. Hopefully you are on the Tips for Work and Life email list. If you've downloaded something from me, you're on the list. Keep an eye out because we're going to be sending you notifications about the free book, about the webinars, about all this other stuff that we have going that I want to get into your hands. And I'm also looking for 200 people who want to be part of a private Facebook group to help me with the reintroduction and the relaunch of Interview Intervention. So if you're interested in that, you'll be getting an email. All you need to do is sign up. And for that, I'm asking for a little help with some social media sharing. And I'm going to be giving you some additional coaching to just that group in the private Facebook page. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're waiting on the books. And then as soon as we've got them, so in the next week or two, we'll be notifying you that to sign up, and then we'll get you the book and we'll get the party rolling. So I hope you enjoyed this. Until next week, keep an eye on your emails. I got some more valuable lessons coming. I will see you next Thursday, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you get the alerts and you know when I'm on. But until then, have a great week, and I will see you next Thursday. Thanks for coming.